Hello folks, meet me again, Mr. Scary Exist. In this video, I'd like to tell you the true story. Don't you know that I can see them, but they can't see me? Only 1 out of 1,000 people had the experience to get in touch with me. Here is the story.
My nickname is Tom, and I've been working the night shift as a security guard at St. Augustine Medical Center for the past 3 years. This hospital, nestled on the outskirts of New Orleans, has a rich history, and some say it carries more than the weight of medical stories within its walls. One fog-laden night, a sense of unease settled over the hospital like a shroud. The old corridors, dimly lit by flickering fluorescent lights, seemed to echo with distant whispers. St. Augustine had a reputation for being haunted, and as I patrolled the quiet hallways, I couldn't shake the feeling that unseen eyes were watching my every move. At the stroke of midnight, the intercom crackled to life. "Olivia, we've got a situation on the 3rd floor, room 315. Head over there, but be cautious." The voice of Dr. Mitchell, the night supervisor, urged through the static. I tightened my grip on the flashlight, my footsteps echoing in the eerily quiet hallway. Room 315 was tucked away in a secluded corner, its entrance obscured by heavy shadows. As I approached, a chill ran down my spine, and the temperature seemed to drop dramatically. The door to room 315 creaked open with a mournful wail, revealing a room enveloped in darkness. The only source of light emanated from a flickering bedside lamp, casting elongated shadows on the peeling wallpaper. "Dr. Mitchell, what's the situation?" I asked, my voice echoing through the silent room. No response. The unsettling silence was broken only by the distant hum of medical equipment. I cautiously entered, my flashlight cutting through the shadows like a feeble beacon. As my light swept across the room, I caught a glimpse of an old woman lying in the hospital bed. Her eyes, wide with terror, seemed to lock onto mine. The wrinkles on her face deepened as she let out a blood-curdling scream. "I'm here to help! What's happening?" I yelled, my heart racing. The old woman pointed a shaky finger towards the corner of the room. My flashlight followed her gaze, revealing the silhouette of a figure, imposing and shadowy. The room's temperature plummeted further, and the air became charged with an otherworldly energy. "Get out!" the old woman gasped, her voice a trembling whisper. "He's here for me!" The figure in the corner seemed to grow larger, its presence palpable in the cold air. I radioed for assistance, my voice tinged with urgency. "This is Olivia. I need backup in room 315. Something's not right." The response crackled through the radio. "On my way, Olivia." As I waited for backup, the figure in the corner moved closer, its movements fluid and unnatural. The old woman's screams filled the room, blending with the distant whispers that seemed to emanate from the very walls. A security guard named Jake burst into the room, his eyes wide with alarm. "What's going on?" I pointed towards the corner, but the figure had vanished. The old woman, now trembling with fear, clutched Jake's arm. "He's still here. I can feel it." We searched the room, but there was no sign of the shadowy figure. The old woman, her eyes haunted by a terror that transcended the physical realm, begged us to stay. "Don't leave me alone. He'll come back." As Jake and I stood guard, the hospital's atmosphere seemed to shift. Strange noises echoed through the hallways, and the air carried the scent of decay. The intercom crackled to life again, this time emitting an eerie melody, a haunting tune that seemed to weave through the very fabric of the hospital. "Olivia, Jake, stay vigilant. We're trying to figure out what's happening." Dr. Mitchell's voice conveyed a sense of urgency. The melody intensified, its spectral notes resonating through the corridors. The hospital, once a haven of healing, now harbored an inexplicable darkness that defied the boundaries of the living and the dead. As the night wore on, the supernatural occurrences escalated. Lights flickered, and the hospital's equipment malfunctioned inexplicably. The whispers grew louder, as if the very walls were trying to communicate a tale of tragedy and despair. In the midst of the chaos, we received a call from the morgue. The temperature in the cold storage room had dropped drastically, and strange symbols appeared on the walls. Jake and I, armed with flashlights and a growing sense of trepidation, made our way to the morgue. The morgue's cold storage room, usually sterile and clinical, now felt like a gateway to the unknown. The air was thick with an unnatural chill, and the symbols on the walls seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. As we approached the source of the disturbance, a figure materialized, an ethereal woman, her white hospital gown billowing like a phantom veil. She spoke with a voice that carried the weight of sorrow and longing. "I've been waiting for someone to hear my story," she murmured, her eyes reflecting a timeless sadness. The woman, a patient from decades past, recounted her tragic tale, a tale of medical experiments gone awry, and a life unjustly cut short within the confines of the hospital. Her spirit, tethered to the cold storage room, sought solace and release from the haunting echoes of the past. As she spoke, the symbols on the walls seemed to resonate with her emotions, glowing with an eerie luminescence. The air became charged with an otherworldly energy, and the hospital's history unfolded before us like a spectral tapestry. In a climactic revelation, we uncovered the dark secrets that had plagued St. Augustine Medical Center for years. Unethical experiments, hidden agendas, and a cover-up that extended beyond the mortal realm. The hospital, once a place of healing, had become a battleground between the living and the vengeful spirits trapped within its walls. Determined to bring closure to the tormented souls, Jake and I delved into the hospital's archives. The supernatural encounters intensified as we uncovered the hospital's sordid history, a history tainted by the actions of those who had exploited the vulnerable for their own gain. In the final confrontation, the hospital seemed to rebel against the malevolent forces that sought to keep their secrets hidden. The very foundations groaned with a supernatural force, and the symbols on the walls pulsed with a spectral luminescence. The vengeful spirits, once trapped in the hospital's confines, were freed as the malevolent entities dissipated into the shadows. The air, once thick with the stench of despair, cleared, and a sense of peace settled over St. Augustine Medical Center. As the first light of dawn bathed the hospital in a soft glow, Jake and I stood in the now silent corridors. The whispers had ceased, and the oppressive atmosphere had lifted. The hospital, once a haunted sanctuary, now stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of the supernatural. In the aftermath of our ordeal, St. Augustine underwent a transformation. The staff, now aware of the spectral history that lurked in the shadows, approached their duties with newfound respect for the mysteries that lingered beyond the realm of the living. As for me, I continued my role as the night shift security guard, patrolling the quiet halls with a heightened awareness of the unseen.